front of my new listing here at Gray Matter. This is a business and office, medical office for sale. It's got a $300,000 build out for a float spa. So, you know, it's hard to sell something without knowing what you're selling. So I am going to do a float, and I'll check in with you guys and let you know how it is. It's in my experience. Anyways, talk to you soon. So as I walk into the Gray Matter float spa, I'm greeted by a very clean spa-like reception area. We've got different things about floating, and can't wait to go see my space, see how this goes. Okay, so here we are in my float room. I've got various supplies here. This is a pillow to help your head float a little bit more if you'd like. Shower towels. And this is the pod. So I ended up with the pod float. There are two other rooms here. And this thing basically is filled with 1,500 pounds of Epsom salt. So it gives you a weightless feeling. Now we are required to take a shower with shampoo and body wash prior to jumping in this thing. So y'all wish me luck. It's an hour-long situation. I'll check back in afterwards. Okay, so we are post-float. I don't know if you can hear me. I've already taken the shower to wash off a post-float shower, but I wanted to show you the machine went into self-cleaning mode. So after every session, it goes into self-cleaning mode where it sterilizes the whole water situation. I think it uses UV and filters and a couple other ways to sterilize. If there are no sessions, it does it every 6 hours no matter what, just to keep the water, the pod, everything sterile and clean. Also, I wanted to show you these controls here. So the Starlight puts little stars on in there. There's a light that you can turn on, that backlight. And there's music, which is kind of like a trance type music you would hear maybe in a massage place or something. Okay, well, I'll check in with you guys when I get outside.
I think it does one at like 2 a.m. and 2 p.m. kind of thing, where on days that we...
Or... Okay, I'm back in the car, leaving Gray Matter. Wow, what an awesome experience. If you've never done a float, I highly recommend it. A little bit about my experience. So, you know, when I got here, I didn't realize that I was even in pain or that my muscles were tense or any of that. But you get into the deprivation unit and the solution, the saline solution. I guess it's not saline. Yeah, maybe it's saline. But it's got Epsom salt, basically. You get in there and you're weightless. And like never in your life are you weightless, right? But in this thing, you're weightless. You're like, there's no point in your body where that should be holding weight. So you can, so in my experience, what happened to me was I could feel that my upper back and shoulders and neck were just super tense and that they needed to be like kind of stretched. So I multiple times kind of stretched them in there, did some impromptu yoga. I don't really know yoga, but stretched my upper back, and you're in there and it's super quiet, and I could hear like the pops and the stretches as I stretched. So really cool. By the end of it, my neck and my upper back were just completely relaxed, and my whole body was completely relaxed. So there's a couple different modes. You can sit in there in the dark with no music, just by yourself with your thoughts. I did that for a while, conquered some things I needed to think about for business, came up with a game plan. So it's almost like I don't know, it was awesome. It was like, you know, planning session with myself. So, you know, kind of came up with a game plan for some things that have been bugging me. in business. And then, you know, after a little bit of that, like just sitting there by myself with no lights, no noise, no nothing, I kind of was like, how long have I been in here, right? And then I sat up and I turned on the starlights for a while, and I floated like that, with my eyes open and just relaxing, and that was really nice for a while. And then I decided to try the music, which was really kind of cool. It's almost like a trance music or something, you know, like you'd fit here in a massage parlor. But it was, yeah, it was just a really cool experience. I kind of did the whole gamut of it, you know, with the music, the lights, the complete darkness and quietness, just to try it out. And man, you feel awesome. Get down there, you feel like you just got out of a massage. My upper back is just so relaxed, my neck's relaxed. What an awesome experience. And then you come out and they have hot tea ready. I mean, you can make hot tea. They have all kinds of cool teas. I had a watermelon mint, and just kind of sat there and talked to the guy about the experience. And you know, one of the cool things I noticed when I was in there in the complete dark, and you go into like the weightless mode, or you lean back and you're just floating and weightless, is it's dark, it's quiet, and you get this sensation, because there's no weight, that you're floating. I mean, not that you're floating, but you are floating. You get the sensation that you're spinning, right? Because you're floating, and I feel like you just don't have any grounding. We're so used to touching something, right? And so that was an interesting experience, where you just kind of felt like you're almost spinning. And you know, honestly, I had my doubts about this whole process and how it worked and the whole thing. But wow, what a cool experience. I met a gentleman here yesterday, because I'm trying to sell the place, right? But I met a gentleman here yesterday, and he had been to he said he'd done over 100 floats, and he'd been to them all over the world, and he really liked this one because it's more like a spa, like a clean like doctor's office type place. And you know, he said a lot of places have like a holistic experience. They have like, you know, play sand and stuff for you to play with in the lobby, and paint and all that, but this is more like a medical kind of spa type situation. But you know, that gentleman, I mean, his story, he had broken his back and had all these issues, and he uses it for his muscles, for his body, for his physical, but he also says that he uses it for his mental, being that he uses it kind of like therapy. He thinks about, you know, things that are bothering him. He said he had kind of sat in here and dealt with grief from a loss. He's dealt with breakups. He's done with, and you know, it just sounded like something really cool. It's almost to me like when I go mountain biking, where I sit there and for a couple hours I hammer out my problems as it's myself and the nature and the exercise. But this, you're not focused about, oh my God, what about that rock coming or something. This, you're just there, right? And so, like I said, I was able to kind of work through a couple things with my business. Really enjoyed the experience. Definitely going to do it again. If you haven't been, I recommend you try it. Very cool gray matter float spa. They have 3 rooms: deluxe, normal, and then the pod thing that I was in. I think the normal is about the same size as the pod. The deluxe is, I guess, much bigger. You can float with a couple if you want. They also have 2 really high-end infrared saunas in there, and you can pick different modes or programs. I haven't tried that yet, but as it was explained to me, is there's a short wave, a medium wave, and a long wave infrared, and the different programs are set up to do different things, and you know, it'll produce the different waves to really kind of get into your body and affect those muscles and those bones and stuff. So I'm gonna check that out next. Thanks for watching. If you know anybody interested in a business, a float spa, get at me. I would love to show them this place. I would love to show it to them. Maybe get them a float so they can experience it. Anyways, till next time.